don't worry about, making everything perfect. You don't need a mic. You don't need a, crazy background or, crazy camera. I'm still shooting on my iPhone to this day, and it's just easier that way. So a lot of people don't start just because they think they have to have a perfect setup or a $1,000 setup. It's not like that. So don't think that. It's honestly just consistency, and it's just commitment to, I'm going to post every single day, even if I don't see the results right away.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the First Year Insurance Agent Podcast, where we want to help you, the first year agent, the brand new agent, succeed, because this industry has changed my life, and I know it will change yours. Today, I'm with my man, Mr. Tim Smith, all the way from Spring Vegas, Missouri. Tim, say what's up to everybody real quickly.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me, Rob. I'm excited.
Absolutely, man. Listen, for those watching, there's actually no Spring Vegas. It's actually Springfield, Missouri, but it's like Spring Vegas to these guys. They're Springfield. But Tim today is going to drop some massive value for all of you. He's going to share with you how he's using the power of social media to not only generate quality clients, but also recruits, especially for those of you that are watching or listening to this today and saying, hey, I really want to recruit and build an agency. So Tim, let's dive right in today, okay? Because I want to give some massive value. Give us a 30,000 foot view of your story and how you got started in this industry up to where you are now.
Yeah. So I was playing basketball in college back in 2019, 2020. And then I got hurt. I'm like, the only reason why I'm here anyway is to play basketball. So I dropped out entirely. I always knew I was going to do insurance because my brother does it. And so I started in 2020. I was an LOA agent. So I was a licensed only agent from 2020 up until about 2023, halfway through the year. And then fully made the jump into being an independent agent for about the last 2 years.
So let me ask you this. Maybe some brand new agents are watching this today and they don't quite understand what LOA means. Can you maybe define that a little bit more and how it really prepared you for success to go independent? And the reason I want to do that is because I think sometimes people may be in the right industry, they're just in the wrong model or they're the wrong soil for that particular season. So kind of jump into that real quickly.
Yeah, I think being an LOA, it's like I said, the licensed only agent. Basically what that means is you come into the industry and you're directly under a mentor that's going to train you. It's going to show you the ropes. Hopefully they have proven systems that have worked for them, and then they can just pass that along to you. But typically, like, we had a split. So they took a percentage of what we sold, but they also gave us marketing money every month. And so I think that helps along with the training, just because, like, I was a broke college student. I didn't have 2 dimes to rub together when I started. And so no way I was going to be able to do any seminars or, do any marketing at all when I first started. And so I think a lot of people, if they start the LOA model, it can, decide if they're going to make it or not, more than jumping into the independent side with no money, no marketing, no nothing.
Yeah, it just gave you more of a peace of mind, security, but also, somebody was like your Medicare Miyagi, if you will. Like you're primarily Medicare. That shows my age a little bit. My favorite movie of all time is Karate Kid, so I'm a Mr. Miyagi guy. But yeah, it kind of was having that Medicare Miyagi, that person to mentor you, train you, hold your hand. They're giving you all their secrets, if you will, and their tips and their tactics, which gave you a really solid foundation for success, right?
Yep. And it helps that hopefully the person kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone a little bit. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was first starting, I was brand new, and we did a lot of direct mail leads at that time. And so my mentor, we'd order the leads. They'd be like 4 hours away. And so he would just hand it to us, say, hey, go drive out there. Don't come back until you've knocked on all the doors. And so that was when door knocking was allowed. So we'd go out there and door knock, but I would get out there, I'd drive 4 hours one way, and I would be so nervous. I wouldn't even knock on the doors. I'd just tell them that I did, and then I'd drive all the way back. And so I eventually, after doing that 1 or 2 times, like, I just got to knock on the door. And so it helped that he kind of pushed me to get out of my comfort zone, or I would have never made it.
Right, because you realize really quickly, and listen, this is a nugget for all of you watching this today. You have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable in this business if you're going to break through. That's what you're saying, Tim.
Yep. I don't think I would have made it if I didn't have someone in my corner pushing me, go do this. So,
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that because yesterday I was at this event and I kept hearing over and over and over again, like a broken record, how do I get in front of more people? I don't have very much money. I'm on a shoestring budget. How do I get more Medicare prospects? And it was really a lot of cases, and no offense to anybody, but it was a lot of the blind leading the blind. And so by you going LOA, it was really someone who was further ahead where you were, but where you wanted to be, and they were guiding you and leading you to success.
yeah. Yeah. I think that really determines if an agent's going to make it or not. Like some people, like we were talking about earlier, they may be in the right industry. This might be the industry for them, but they're just in the wrong position or the wrong type of agent.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah. No, I totally get that. So let's transition over to social media, right? So you went on your own. Things are going pretty good. You're doing maybe some postcards, some seminars. That's great. But really, you found your superpower, if you will, through the power of social media. More specifically, it seems like you've had tons of success with TikTok. And the reason I really wanted to have you on today, because you know this, what I run into when I see agents is they either have money or they have tons of time, right?
yep.
In other words, they have money to invest in their business, but for those that don't, and you know this, a lot of first-year agents do not have a lot of money to invest in their business, but they have a lot of time and sweat equity. So let's
Yep.
talk about how someone who's brand new can start using the power of TikTok or social media in general, but it seems like your niche really is TikTok, or your lane is really TikTok. Talk about what kind of success you've had with that, and then we'll transition to maybe some practical things on how agents can start taking steps to generate quality leads.
Yeah. So we started TikTok. We're going on about 2 years now. I think we're
Okay.
a little over a year and a half mark. And so we started with obviously 0 followers, no following, no views, all that. And now
Sure.
fast forward to about 2 years in, we are at about 75,000 followers, and we get like 4 million views a month. Um,
Wow.
so it picked up kind of quickly, I guess. But it took us a solid probably 6 or 7 months before we saw any type of, rhythm or any type of momentum with it.
Yeah.
Um,
So what made you choose TikTok though? Like, cause I know you did some YouTube and I know you did some other things. What was it about TikTok that you go, hey, this really could be a powerful combination with the industry that I'm in?
Well, when I first started, I honestly didn't know if there was going to be a lot of seniors on TikTok. And so I was kind of just
Yeah.
blindly jumping into it. But I looked at TikTok, I looked at Instagram, I looked at YouTube, and I'm like, what is the lowest barrier of entry to get started with
Sure.
this? Because I'm still new. I'm not like a tech
Good.
guru with videos and stuff. So I was looking and I saw that there was at that time about 2 people actually doing TikTok for Medicare. And so I looked at that and I'm like, this is either a waste of time because there's only 2 people doing it and there's nobody on here that wants to talk about Medicare, or it's just the most untapped gold mine that you'll ever see in the industry. And
Sure.
so I
Yeah.
committed that day. I'm like, I'm gonna do this for 90 days. If I don't see anything from it, whatever, I'll move on to the next app.
Right.
So I committed to 90 days, and fortunately, I sold a couple policies in that time, and so
Wow.
I kept going. So
So let's dive into some more practical things, right? So this first year agent is listening to this, our brand new agent. They're going, okay, Tim, just like you, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know if it's going to work. Where do I start? Do I just pick up my iPhone? Do I get on my computer? Do I just start rambling and saying stuff? Could you maybe give us about 4 to 5 nuggets that would really help a first year agent begin to start using the power of TikTok to have the success that you've had?
yeah. So it all starts with I would say if you're brand new to TikTok, you've never posted anything, I would just model what we did. So I said, hey, I'm going to post 3 times a day for the first couple
Okay.
weeks. That way,
Okay.
when someone sees one of my videos, lands on our page, they don't come to a page that has like three videos. And so I would
Okay.
just consistently try to put 2 or 3 out a day. It doesn't have to be
Okay.
long, about a minute, minute and a half. And then that way
Okay.
people can actually, binge watch your content when they actually find you. Um,
Okay.
that would be step one. Step two, I would say, is don't worry about making everything perfect. You don't need a mic. You don't need a crazy background or crazy camera. I'm still shooting on my iPhone to this day, and it's just easier that way. So a lot of people don't start just because they think they have to have a perfect setup or
Mhm.
$5,000 setup. Um, it's not like that. So don't think that. It's honestly just consistency, and it's just commitment to, I'm going to post every single day, even if I don't
Okay.
see the results right away.
Okay. So you're saying just start posting, but I want to go back because there was a nugget that you dropped there, and that is go. I think you said it like go see what I'm doing.
Yep.
Right. Here's what I've done with my YouTube channel and even with TikTok. And I'm not on it as much as you. I don't do the 3 times a day. I do it more of just kind of an extra branding thing. I do get some traction from it, but obviously not like you. But what I have seen in YouTube or on IG Reels or Facebook, Reels, YouTube Shorts, or even on TikTok is don't reinvent the wheel. Go see what's working for other individuals, repurpose that and create it in your own flavor. So you said that in the very beginning, because what I have found is that when I go do that, I have more successful videos instead of me just trying to create something off the top and ramble a little bit. Have you seen that for yourself as well?
I have. I there was like I said, there was two people doing it before me, and so
Sure.
I looked at the content. I looked at kind of like how they presented, looked at all that. So the first probably 100 videos I posted was nothing more than doing what they're doing, but just putting a spin on it and using my own language with it.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, like, while you're doing that, you get more confident with being on camera. You get more confident with making videos, and then you can kind of, branch out into what you want to do and really find your voice. But until then, I mean, it's already working with them. You might as well do it for you and just copy it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's some secret sauce there, guys, because what happens is you can't be confident until you gain some competence, and you can't get competence until you're consistently doing a lot of bad videos, right?
Yeah.
But to shortcut that point to success, go see what Tim, go see what others in whatever, in this case Medicare, but if it's life insurance, IULs, retirement, I mean, go find out what others are doing and go look at their most popular videos and then recreate it. Don't steal it, but go recreate it and then use your superpower, infuse your superpower into that video. I tell people this all the time. I'm loud, I'm passionate, I talk fast, but really those are my superpowers. A lot of people, when I meet them, they go, "Man, I love your energy and I love your passion." So you can't be me, you can't be Tim, but you can be you, and you can take videos that he has made or others that have made that are very successful in this particular lane and recreate them and start to create that momentum. Why do you say 3 times a day? I've heard people say that, but is it just because of the way the algorithm works? Is it just because you get pushed to the bottom so quickly? Or give us a little bit more insight on that.
Yeah. So, well, when I first started too, TikTok was you post a video today, it'll pop off for however many views, and then it'll just stop. And so
Sure.
that's how TikTok's algorithm worked then. I more so say post 3 times a day, only the first 2 or 3 weeks. So I don't think you should keep
Okay.
doing that. Like, we post once
Okay.
a day now, and sometimes we'll even
Okay.
post like every other day.
Mhm.
But TikTok's moved now to where I put out a video, it may get, I don't know, 50,000 views in the first 48 hours, and then it'll kind of slow down. But then over the next several weeks, it'll, get another 50,000 views. It's not where it's like you post it, it's got about a 48-hour shelf time, and then it's done. That's
Sure.
how it used to be.
So let me kind of get more into the weeds here just for a second. Somebody goes 3 times a day, and I'm trying to go out here and sell Medicare, and I'm trying to sell life insurance, I'm trying to sell whatever. How are you managing your time? Because that's key, right? How are you managing your time to put that in your calendar? Can you give us a little bit of behind the scenes on how Tim Smith makes these videos? What kind of does he have a specific day? Does he do it on Sundays, Saturdays? Does he do it every morning? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I used to have a schedule. Like I'd be like 9 a.m. here. I'm going to be shooting the whole week on Monday. And
Sure.
I can't do that. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's hard. It's hard. One, it's hard on the creative side because I feel like a lot when you're like shooting
Yeah.
10 videos at once, they all start to sound the same. And so
Yeah.
I noticed that. So I stopped doing that. But what I do for YouTube is every morning I'll have a script ready to go. I'll shoot the
Mm-hmm.
video and then I'll, in my spare time in between appointments, edit it and then hopefully have it ready to go either that day, that night or the next night to post. So we do that. And then TikTok is honestly, I'll just hop on there and shoot. It may take 2 minutes. I'll shoot a video in between appointments. So I think when you like, if you can just commit to doing it and doing it at some point in your day, it doesn't take that long. It takes like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm on the struggle bus with that too. If I try to do it like a specific day, because I'm so spontaneous by nature, it
yeah,
feels like I'm stifled. My creativity stifled if I try to go. Let me go on this specific time and record 4 videos. Not hating on that, just
yeah.
not my personality type. So you said something about editing your video. What
hmm
type of software? Like, I mean, is there something free? Is it going to cost me a lot to edit these videos? Talk a little bit about that.
So you could do one of two things. So TikTok has a built-in editing platform
Okay.
on their app, so you can do that. Or I use a app called LumaFusion, and
Okay.
so it's just an iOS app. You can download it on Mac, iPad, or iPhone, and it's like
Hmm.
I think it's like $19, but it's lifetime. So we're talking to the first year
Oh,
agent that doesn't have a lot of money to
yeah.
invest up front.
Yeah.
Uh, that's exactly why I did. I didn't want to spend
Yeah.
$50 a month on an editing
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
So it's
That's easily one extra ancillary policy. Yeah. That's you
yeah.
sell one extra ancillary policy, you're good on that. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, you're good. It's $20 and it's super easy to use and you can do a lot of different stuff on it. So I paid $19 2 years ago and I still use it for free today. Um,
Wow.
so yeah.
And I mean, you could probably go on YouTube and find a tutorial on how to use it. So that shouldn't be hard, right? Or
Yeah. Yeah, and they've
you
got
know,
tutorials in there too. So it's pretty
okay.
easy. And I was gonna say too, Rob, on our last conversation is if you're a new agent trying to start TikTok, don't think that you have to just post your first video. Like if you are struggling with time or struggling with commitment, go and shoot, you know, 10 plus videos, 10 to 15 videos, have them all just sitting in your drafts, and then you don't have to commit to 3 a day. You just already have them ready to
Mm,
go.
that's
So
good.
you don't have to
Yeah.
launch from the second you shoot your first video. Um,
Yeah, and one thing that's really helped me, Tim, is because I'm so spontaneous in nature, if I watch a video by you or someone else, it gives me a similar
yeah,
idea or it sparks this creativity in me. And I go to my phone, I can show you in my notes. I have
yeah,
tons of TikTok real ideas. It gives me long form video ideas for YouTube and go, ooh, I could take a deeper dive in that. So when I watch different people like you and others that have been very successful, it sparks that creativity. And I love what you're saying. Go do it right then in that moment or pretty quickly because you'll lose that creative spark or you'll lose that idea. Have you seen that for you as well?
yeah. So I'm exactly like you. If I see a video I like and I like the structure of it, I'll throw it into my Google Calendar at like 6 a.m. or like 8 p.m. and I'll just say, "Hey,
Mhm.
study this video or recreate this video."
Sure.
I do the
Yeah.
exact same thing. I did one where I really liked his structure. It had nothing to do with the insurance industry. I just liked how he had a whole presentation out on a piece of paper. So I did that, and it popped off for like 400,000 views, just because
Wow.
I took his video that went well, put it into the insurance industry, um, and
Yeah.
kind of made it.
Listen, yeah, we got to pause there for a minute because Tim is, I mean, he's dropping some gold. And by the way, if you're getting value out of today's conversation, hit the like button for me, subscribe, comment about down below if there's something we don't answer today. This just helps me get this out to more brand new agents or first year agents like yourself. So let's go back to that because that's a nugget right there. A lot of people don't realize that you can go study other niches or niches, however you want to say it. You can get video topic ideas, structure ideas like you're talking about. And I know for me, when I go look for different thumbnail ideas because I'm in the YouTube space primarily. but I go see how they've structured their titles, how they've structured their thumbnails, like you said, the format, and you can carry that over, transpose that over to your specific niche. So can you talk a little bit more about that? Are you specifically seeking out other niches, or if just something pops up in the algorithm?
Yeah, so when I just kind of study myself when I'm scrolling on social. I'm either on there for entertainment because I want to laugh or see
Sure.
sports game highlights or whatever,
Sure.
or I'm
Yeah.
there like studying it. Like I have so many like business videos that come through my feed now just because that's like all I watch. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'll look at Gary Vee, for example. I'll look at Grant Cardone, some of those guys that pop up. I don't necessarily go off of they're obviously trying to coach people, but I'll go off of their structure of their videos, or how what's their hook look like, what's their structure of their video, what's their call to action look like. Um, I'll look at that
Okay.
stuff.
So let's talk about structure, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to give all your goodies away, right? Because people will leave put your information down in the video description, and they can reach out to you if they want to get coached by you, or set that up. But let's talk about structure. When you say structure, what does that mean? Do I have to have a specific kind of hook? Does it matter how I start the video? I mean, does it matter about my voice? Does it matter the way that I edit it? So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So ever since I started, I've always had and we've never changed this. Every video we've ever put out has been this structure. So I believe there should be a 3-part structure. There should
Okay.
be, this is where a lot of people, where a lot of people mess up before people really get that far into their video. This first part is the hook. So a lot of people will start off by saying, "Hey, I'm Rob Sevilla. I'm from this insurance company. This is what I do. This is how I can help you." Now let's get into why you're here. Nobody
Right.
cares about, no offense, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about me. They're just trying to
Yeah.
get educated. So
Right.
skip all the introductions, get right into the hook, which should be like the first 5 seconds of your video. Say something that's a pain point for your ideal audience. Say something that causes them to wonder and be curious and want to watch more.
Sure.
First 5 seconds. And then immediately, again, skip the intro, go straight into what I call the value, or the
Sure.
like educational part. So provide as
Yeah.
much value on that hook that you brought up in the first 5 seconds. And then part 3, after you're going over the value, is the call to action. Um, a reason why I think we've done pretty well is our call to actions are still not selfish. It's not, "Hey, call me for a one-on-one appointment." It's, "Hey,
Yeah.
click the button below and we will send you our free educational guide that's going to walk you through
Nice.
Medicare." So we're
Okay.
always providing value through the whole video, even our call to action. And I say that most people get all the way through our video. They apply for our guides. They get all our automations on the back end. We'll get on a phone call because they booked one. They still don't even know that I'm the person that enrolls people, that I make money from selling them.
Wow.
So they
Okay.
seriously just think we're there just educating people,
Yeah.
which I think is very powerful.
Yeah, I do too. So let me say this though. Like I love what you said, that nobody cares. And that's offensive a little bit, right? Because we think we got to tell them this little bio about us. That's why even in the beginning of this video on YouTube, I said, "Hey, off camera, I said, Tim, just give us a 30,000 foot view and let's get right into the value
Yep.
add, because people will click off. They'll go
Yep.
find something else. We have short attention spans, and people just don't care. They want to know what kind of value you're adding, right? But you have to find a way to hook them, because you have just a matter of seconds to hook them in so you can provide them the value. And I feel like you've done this really, really well. What has been your biggest month in leads so far? Like, you've had some pretty big months in generating leads for your business.
Revenue or leads?
Yeah, just
I
lead. Yeah.
Our biggest month's probably been about 3,500. But
Wow.
we're consistently getting about probably 75 to 100 a day.
Okay.
So what is that?
Wow.
2,500 to
Yeah.
3,000 a month.
I don't know. I was a class clown in school, so I never paid attention during math or anything else. So
Yeah,
don't ask
me
me.
too.
Okay. Yeah. We'll just
Me
we'll just let the real smart people watching this figure all that
too.
out. But how long, right? 'Cause we talked about consistency. How long did it take to get to, maybe, because let's talk, we're talking to brand new agents here, right? I think sometimes in our industry, we give them a lot of sexy, right? And it's easy to go, oh man, I'm never going to get there. But how long, or what would you say a first year agent could realistically, if they're consistent, if they're taking your advice, maybe they reach out to you and get coached by you, how long before you think maybe they could get like, let's just say 100 leads a month, right? I know everybody's different, right? I understand that, but what would you say for them just to start getting some consistent 50 to 100 leads per month?
If they model everything we're doing and they really stick to the structure of the videos, and they build out the call to action well, and they have all of it built out, I would probably say a solid 6 months or so.
Okay.
It's not going to come quickly, but I mean, what else can you get a return on investment of $0 in 6 months? Um,
Yeah. No, I love that because they're going to waste 6 months anyways, right? They're going to
right.
invest their time in something. So you might as well be consistent. And that 6 months, Tim, let me make sure I'm clear here. That's posting 3 times a day, right? Do you
I,
say that for 6 months? Like I need to do that, or after 90 days, or like,
I'd probably say a couple weeks, just so you have a solid like 20, 25 videos that people can land on. I
okay.
mean, obviously, if you have the time, yeah, do 2 a day, do 3 a day.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have enough time, and so we found that just doing one's fine for now. But
Sure.
yeah, definitely
Sure.
starting out a couple weeks, do 3 a day, and then transition to maybe 1 or 2 a day.
All right. 2 to 3 more questions here as we close. Number one is, are you setting up a personal or business account, or does it matter at all?
Very much matters. So I was a
Okay.
personal for the longest time, and I think that's honestly kind of what took us so long to get traction, is because we
Mm,
never had.
okay.
TikTok has what they call the get leads option, and you can only
Sure.
have that if you have 10,000. I think it's 10,000 followers, or you register your business on your business account.
Okay.
So we did that, and so you really want to have a business account, because then you can add a button at the bottom of your video where they can click, fill out their information, and they're doing a lot with TikTok's doing a lot with that right now. That's going to be really cool in the future, pretty soon, and that is way better than having a personal account. You can get paid on the personal account, but the business one you can get a bunch of leads from.
Yeah, and when
So
you say like the click button or the get leads button in your videos, I've heard them, you say something like click on the learn more button or click on the whatever button below so you can get our free Medicare guide or whatever the case may be. That's what you're talking about, correct?
yes, yep, you get that
Yeah.
option.
Okay. And that allows you to get your leads, people reaching out to you, you're reaching out to them. Sometimes it's turning into sales, but you know this, one of the hardest, if not the hardest obstacle for brand new agents is having people to talk to. Once again, if I go back and reference that event from yesterday, everybody kept saying, how do I get in front of more people? How do I talk to more people? Right. We all have a people problem, in other words, right? We got to
Yep.
get in front of more people. So that get leads button and registering for a business account or setting up a business account, registering your business allows you to get that right away versus having to wait to that 10,000 followers per se.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Second question, as we get ready to wrap up today, are you repurposing any of the content on TikTok to other platforms, or can you do that?
Yeah. I don't do as much on Instagram anymore. I don't Instagram's
Okay.
weird. It's like the Wild West. I've
It is.
never seen any success. I've seen maybe 2 people actually build a brand on Instagram for Medicare, which is what I want to focus on.
Mhm.
And so I don't
Sure.
know. I probably should be, Rob, but I'm not. So I'm really just repurposing it to YouTube. I
Yeah.
found that if I try, and this sounds bad, if I try to spread out to LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all this stuff, I typically fall behind and don't do it. And
Yeah.
so I really just wanted to focus on TikTok, and I want to focus on YouTube, because YouTube is going to be the biggest play of all, and it's just going to
Yeah.
take a little while to get there.
Yeah.
Um,
So let me make sure I understand what you're saying, because this is the way I heard it years ago. Diluted focus equals diluted results.
yep,
Right. And so you're getting super focused. I'm mastering this one platform. I wanted to really get my PhD in TikTok, if you will, and I wanted to get good at it. And it's working for me. And now it's afforded me the ability to do YouTube, get some momentum going there. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah. I would say my goal is, now I got TikTok going. I've got to figure out YouTube. And we've been trying to start, we've only been posting, I don't know, probably 15 videos or so. We're like 1,200 subscribers. So it's okay. We're just pushing people from TikTok to YouTube. And, but that's the biggest play. Like I know I've got a friend that is probably the 5th biggest YouTube Medicare channel. And she and her LOA team are writing between 250 and 300 new enrollments every single month just off of YouTube.
Again, when it comes to, I was saying that I have a friend just like you who is on YouTube, has about 300,000 subscribers, I believe, gets about 1,000 to 1,100 Medicare leads every month. And he's actually a referral source. He sends them out to other agencies that basically just pay him for generating those. But I mean, he's getting thousands and thousands of views, but it took him some time to get there. So like you, YouTube is the long-term play, but no matter what platform you choose, you just got to be consistent, right? No matter if it's TikTok, IG, Facebook, or YouTube.
You got to be consistent. You got to have attention to detail. Like you've got to give some time to studying these algorithms and figuring out how to, get ahead of other people.
Last thing here is somebody's watching this today. Lots of value, by the way. Thank you. I mean, it's powerful stuff you've shared. I think it's going to help a lot of brand new agents out there. If I could go back to almost the very beginning here, you were talking about, emulating other people's ideas. I always tell people, if you're going to start creating content, focus on the pain points in your industry, right? What are the top 5 to 10 questions that your specific niche or vertical, you're getting in that vertical? Have you seen the same thing, or is that the advice that you would give? And if so, could you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would say really the hardest part about the industry is just getting in front of people. Like that is the hardest struggle that every single new agent has. And so like we were saying earlier, you either have money to spend or you have time to give. And so, either commit to something like social media that doesn't take any money up front, or, commit with dollars and do like a seminar or something like that. That's the biggest pain point of every new agent in the business.
Well, listen, you've been so generous of your time. Anything else that you say, hey, I didn't ask, or just want to just mention to our audience today before we get off here?
Yeah, definitely. I like to tell everybody this anytime I get on one of these calls is when you're starting out on social media, it can be very uncomfortable. It can be very, stressful. You hate how you look on camera. You hate how you sound. You hate your voice. And I would just say, don't worry what other people think. Don't worry about what they're going to say. Don't worry about what they're going to do, because it's worth going through that hurdle. And I was really worried. My basketball buddies were going to see it. I was scared to come into the office after I started posting because I thought I was going to get roasted. And so don't worry about that. That is all. Don't give that noise. You're eventually going to get past, having bad videos. You're going to get good at it. You're going to get traction. And then they're going to come to you and ask for advice. So they're going to want to know what you're doing. And so don't listen to any of that, and just commit to doing it, because you're going to find your voice. You're going to get more confident. I would have never got on one of these calls before I started posting on social media because I didn't like talking to people. I didn't like talking in front of people. And so now, just by making videos, if I didn't sell anything, I got a self-confidence by posting videos and shooting videos. So I say all that, just don't listen to the noise and just start posting.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, Tim, how we listen to so much of the external noise from friends or just from people. I mean, I've been called everything online. When I was doing my Christian inspirational videos, I was called false prophet, the whole 9 yards, man. Even on my Medicare stuff, I mean, I get crazy stuff, but I can't let that noise stop me from creating the financial freedom that I want for my family, right? That's what you're saying. And a lot of times people let that happen. Like you said, they're worried they're going to get roasted by friends, or they're worried about somebody at work's going to see it, or they're worried about, whatever the case may be. Fill in the blank. So I'm glad you definitely shared that. Okay, so you shared a little bit today, but let's say someone says, hey, Tim, I want to take a deeper dive. Will you coach me? Do you offer that type of coaching? And if so, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we definitely do that. We've built some people's TikTok pages out. We've set up landing pages. We've done all of that stuff. So we do that. And honestly, you can DM me on TikTok. You can text me. You can call me anytime. I don't know if I'll have my information down below or not, but if it is,
It will be.
you can definitely. Okay, you can text me, email me, whatever.
Okay, so they can just reach out to you, and if they go, "Hey Tim, go fix my TikTok page," if they have one, or "Hey Tim, I just need to get on a Zoom and get some coaching," you're more than happy to do that.
Yep, more than happy to do that.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, I'll also have my information down below. So if you need any help with anything else, once again, we would love for you to take a moment to like, comment, subscribe. This just helps us get this information out there. And listen, don't give up. Don't quit. This industry is a very powerful industry. It's changed Tim's life. It's changed my life. And I know it can change your life if you'll make a commitment today to not give up. God bless you guys. And we'll see you on the next podcast.